How could you tell?
Well, for a start, she is fair. Who are you, sir?
I am William Gilbert.
I didn't quite catch that middle name.
Schwenk, madam, Schwenk, and I hate it. It was a gift from my father, a man of uncertain temper and temperament. It was the first of many absurdities in my life. However, now I've introduced myself, I should like to have some idea of what is going on.
I'll explain in a few words. That song was used in a famous show to summon
Yes, I know. I am Lanty, whom I probably am not. Don't think much of your aim, madam.
Oh, but my aim is perfect. You see, you thought you were victim of a clumsy arrangement. But tonight, W.S.Gilbert, writer, director, satirist, this was your life.
And quick shaft. A prince or peer, or prince, and prince or peer. I aim my shaft, and know no fear. I've risen from the east and from the west, and subject to no academic rule. You may find it in the jeering of a jest, or distilled from the folly of a fool. I can teach you with a quick by the mile. I can trick you into learning with a laugh. Oh, with all my folly, can't you find a grain to a truth about the chaff? Oh, with all my folly, can't you find a grain to a truth about the chaff? I can set a bracket waiting with a quip. The upshot I can wither with a whim. He may wear a merry laugh upon his lip, but his laughter has an echo that is grim. When I offer to the world a merry guise, unpleasant truth to swallow with a will. For he who makes fellow creatures wise should always gild the philosophic bill. For he who makes fellow creatures wise should always gild the philosophic bill. Good wasn't the word. It was ill-prepared, it was under-rehearsed, it had a cast of alleged stars at the London stage. It opened on Boxing Night, 1871, and, as Shakespeare might have put it, staggered on giving measure for measure till just past Twelfth Night, when it closed. All's well that ends well, I thought. Much ado about nothing, really.
So, what brought you two together again?
The theatrical producer, Richard Doyley Cart, he needed a curtain raiser for his production of Offenbach's La Pericole. He asked me to write it. I sent him the draft of a courtroom comedy. He suggested Arthur Sullivan write the music. The rest is history.
Trial by jury. First performance, 25th of March 1875, the Royalty Theatre. Initial run, 131 performances.
When first my old love I knew, my bosom whirled with joy. My breeches at her feet I threw, I was a lovesick boy. No term seemed too extravagant unto her to employ. I used to mope and sigh and pant, just like a lovesick boy. Tick-a-tang, 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 tick-a-tang.
Took trial by jury to be, if you one singular sensation. You must remember, both Sullivan and I had well-established careers of our own. It's one reason why Clark approached us. He knew that we would sell tickets. We were box office. I was well known as a writer, both in and out of the theatre. And Sullivan was the darling of the music world.
Born into a musical family, Sullivan's talents emerged early, earning him a place as a chorister at the Chapel Royal. Scholarships followed to the Royal Academy of Music and Leipzig Conservatoire, where he was hailed as both composer and conductor. He was a mover in high society and a confidant of royalty. He was awarded honorary doctorates of music by both Oxford and Cambridge universities. He was acclaimed as the English Mendelssohn. And yet, however much praise was heaped upon his serious music, and however much the musical elite begged him not to demean himself by writing light music, it was there that he found his fame and fortune. The ultimate irony was that during the run of his only grand opera, Ivanhoe, which Queen Victoria herself had urged him to write, Her Majesty ordered a command performance at Windsor Castle of the Gondoliers. Truly, it can be said that he wandered from Bach to Offenbach.
Dream
Arthur Seymour Sullivan was very reluctant to be known by his initials.
Did you ever worry that your work might be overwhelmed by Sullivan's music?
No, never.
What? Never?
Well, hardly ever.
A review of Cox and Box, words by X.E. Benant and music by Arthur Sullivan. The music is, in many places, of too high a class for the grotesquely absurd plot to which it is wedded. It is very funny here and there, and grand and graceful where it is not funny. But the grand and graceful have, we feel, too large a share of the honours to themselves. Who wrote that?
I did. But then, I only know two tunes. One is the national anthem, the other is not.
That's not true.
No.
Be that as it may, your next joint venture was The Sorcerer, opened 17th of November 1877, initial run 178 performances. Did that have a grotesquely absurd plot as I went to went his music to?
Certainly not. Simplicity itself. An entire village is rendered unconscious by a magic love potion, which causes the drinker to fall in love with the first person they see upon wakening. This is the idea of Alexis Poindexter. He wants everyone to feel and experience the sort of joy that he gets from his love for and his betrothal to Aline. Yes, but with ideas like that, Alexis is, of course, a tenor. So we logically come to a quintet involving Alexis, who is to marry Aline, his father, Sir Marmaduke Poindexter, thank you, who is to marry Mrs. Partlett, a widowed pew opener, and Dr. Daly the vicar, who is to marry all four, but can find no one to marry himself.
I rejoice that it's decided, happy now will be my life, for my father is provided with a kind and tender wife. She will tend him, nurse him, mend him, and his play and dry his tears, lest the thoughtful face and
the music, or did you just get lucky?
No, we got Richard Doyle-Clark.
Richard Doyle-Clark was one of the most successful middlemen of Victorian theatre. He traded on an easy charm, which its admirers described as urbane, and its detractors as oily calm. He was very shrewd. When negotiations were deadlocked with the singer George Groscliffe, he took Groscliffe out for a lunch of champagne and oysters. Negotiations were settled very quickly thereafter. Later in life, Groscliffe calculated that that lunch had cost him £1,800. He formed a company to perform Gilbert and Sullivan's works. He built the Savoy Theatre in Wichterhausen, and he built the Savoy Hotel on the Clocks. Vitally, he fully understood what the public wanted and ensured that they were given it in such quality that they would always come back. A one-trick minstrel, I'm a thing of shreds and snatches, of ballad songs and snatches, and trivial lullaby. My catalogue is long through every passion ring.
He'd always seen the potential in our partnership, but crucially, he made sure that for the first time, we were in sole artistic charge. Thus, I finally had a company of actors who all shared one vital prerequisite.
Singing! Dancing! Fine delivery.
No. The ability to do exactly as I told them. Am I understood?
Yes, Mrs. Gilbert. And this was the setup that brought you your first major success. HMS Pinnacle opened 25th of May 1878 at the Opera Comique. Initial run, 571 performances.
Indeed. At the time, the First Lord of the Admiralty was one W.H. Smith, possibly better known as a newsagent. It wasn't long before even Prime Minister Disraeli was calling him Pinafore Smith. Carry on, Sir Joseph.
Beg pardon, Mr. Gilbert? If what?
If what? I don't understand you.
If you please.
Of course. If you please, Sir Joseph.
always voted at my party's call, and never thought of thinking for myself at all. He never thought of thinking for himself at all. I thought so little that he rewarded me by making me the ruler of the Queen's Navy. He thought so little that he rewarded me by making me the ruler of the Queen's Navy. Now, landsman Paul, whoever you may be, if you want to rise to the top of the tree, and your soul is better to an office stool, he came to be guided by this golden rule. He came to be guided by this golden rule. Stick close to your desks and never go to sea, and you all be the rulers of the Queen's Navy. Stick close to your desks and never go to sea, and you all be the rulers of the Queen's Navy.
Mr. Gilbert.
Not mine. Cards. Pinafore mania had also swept America, but since we had never produced a piece there ourselves, we had no control, no rights, and no royalties. Plus, there were pirate pinafores with songs advertising patent trousers, with Buttercup being played by a man 7 feet tall. One even managed to include the Alleluia chorus. Cart decided that we should take HMS Pinafore across the Atlantic and show them the real thing.
Which we did with great success. But that wasn't all, was it, Gilbert?
No. If I had wanted a 7-foot character in patent trousers singing Handel, I should have written one. No. Your idea was to rehearse the new piece in secret while we were in America and premiere it in New York, thus securing the American rights, which is exactly what the Singleton performance in Patent did for the British rights. Thus it was that with the pirates of Penzance, Cart, Sullivan and I went into battle with the pirates not of Penzance, not without some trepidation.
Tarantara, tarantara, smile is but a while of guile. This costume chaste is but good taste misplaced. Let me confess, a languid love for release does not like me. Lank limbs and haggard cheeks do not delight me. I do not care for dirty greens by any means. I do not long for all one sees that's Japanese. I am not fond of uttering platitudes in stained glass attitudes. In short, my medievalism's adaptation, born of a morbid love of admiration. If you're anxious or to shine in the high aesthetic line as a man of culture rare, you must guess at all the churns and the transcendental terms and plug them everywhere. You must lie upon the daisies and discourse in novel phrases of a complicated state of mind. The meaning doesn't matter if it's only I encounter the transcendental kind. And everyone will say, as you walk your mystic way, if this young man expresses himself in terms too deep for me, why what a very singularly deep young man this deep young man must be. Be eloquent in praise of the very dull days which have long since passed away, and convince them if you can that the reign of Queen Anne was conscious of yesterday. Of course you will poo whatever's fresh and new, and declare it's crude and mean, for art's not short, the celebrated one of the Empress Josephine. And everyone will say, as you walk your mystic way, if that's not good enough for him, which is good enough for me, why what a very continental kind of youth this kind of youth must be. Then a sentimental passion of a vegetable fashion must excite your languid spleen. An attachment to a plato for a bachelor potato, or a not too French bean. Though verse philistines may jostle, you may rank as an apostle in the high aesthetic band. If you walk down Piccadilly with a poppy or a lily, your medieval hand. And everyone will say, as you walk your flowery way, if he's content with a vegetable love, which would certainly not suit me, why what a most particularly pure young man this pure young man must be.
Yes, you. Also deal unsympathetically with ladies of a certain
Age?
voice.
Very well. Your evidence.
Well, in HMS Pinafore we have little Jotica, who is described as an old bumboat woman. And then in Pirates we have, you will find me the wife of 1,000.
No, but I will find your wife of 47. And that's quite enough.
And now in Patience, Lady Jane
My dear lady, my targets are always the absurdities of the human condition, not the individuals themselves. For example, in Patience, we have two allegedly high-minded and ascetic young ladies who meet and fall for 3 soldiers. Now, 3 into 2 won't go unless you're prepared to indulge in vulgar fractions. Therefore, a choice must be made. A choice which inevitably means one of the soldiers is going to live a solitary life. And from the dignified and serious manner of the deliberations, I invite the unbiased observer to deduce my target.
If Sophia choose to marry, I shall be fixed up for life. Then the colonel need must have it, and shall let her be his wife.
In the case of precedent, single I shall live and die. I will have to be contented with the half of sympathy. You will have to be contented with the half of sympathy. In the case of precedent, single I shall live and die. I will have to be contented with the half of sympathy. I will have to be contented with the half of sympathy. I will have to be contented with the half of sympathy.
souls are found in many ranges.
Frequently, I agree.
All of cat the chestnut snatches, worn out garments show new patches, only count the chick that hatches, men have a grown-up catchy catches.
Yes, I know, that is so. Oh, to catch my drift, he's striving. I dissemble. When he sees what I'm driving, let him tremble, let him tremble.
Yes, well, Carter decided that he was going to charge our partnership for the use of the Savoy Theatre, something that I felt was unfair.
My dear Gilbert, the three of us share the profits equally after deduction of our salaries and expenses. Losses at the Savoy Theatre are mine alone.
Your reaction?
That he'd given himself license to print money, but I let him go.
But the other milestone, the premiere at the Savoy, the first public building to be lit by electricity. Now that must have been magical.
I don't know. I wasn't there.
Not there.
No. I never went to opening nights. I prefer to walk the embankment and come back for the bows. The other two had something to do. Sutherland was conducting. Cart was meeting and greeting, the great and the good. All I could do was wait around for something to go wrong. I love my work, but opening night, I would rather attend an amputation at the hip. It was a nightmare.
Love, unrequited, robs me of my rest. Love, hopeless love, my ardent soul encumbers. Love, nightmare-like, lies heavy on my chest and weaves itself into my midnight slumbers. Started that morning from death. in the games and he calls you red legs when you tell him that ties really learn. So this you can stand and you throw up your hand and find you as cold as a bicycle in your shirt and your socks of black silk with the clothes crossing soft when you play on a bicycle. And he and the crew on bicycles too, takes on other invested in. He's telling the tars of the particular part of a company he's interested in. It's a scheme of devices to get into a crisis or go from government just to tables. You take them to sailors by treating you tails as though they were all little tables. And everything stays into glass or trees, which take up his boat and let them train. And his toes will take good, and his fingers will shoot, and he'll blossom and bud like a fruit tree. From the coolers and cream and apple, eat cauliflower, pineapple and cranberries. While the basement runs any bread and run, I'll toss 3/4 and batteries. The shares of a penny and ever so many are taken by Rothschild and Mary. And just as a few are allotted to you, you awake from the shudder despairing. You're a regular wreck with a crick in your neck and you wonder you're slow for your little bottom. You need a spring from your soul to your grip. Your flesh is a creep, your left a creep, a pain in your toes, a fly in your nose, a feel in your tongue, and a rubber and tongue, a scandal says the general step that you haven't been sleeping all night. A long night has passed and it's daylight at last, and the night has been long. Did you get my song? And thank goodness they're both of them over.
In its review of Iolanthe, the Globe described Sullivan as a masterly musician, content for a while to partially sacrifice himself, rather than hinder the clear enunciation of the words.
And following his knighthood,
Some 24 years before mine.
the musical review said,
Some things Mr. Sullivan can do, Sir Arthur should not do. Here is an obligation for him to return to that sphere from which he has too long descended.
Descended indeed. Musical snobbery. This was business. I sent Sullivan a perfectly good pot involving a magic lozenge, which, when eaten, transformed people into what they pretended to be.
what happened?
He wouldn't swallow it. However, a little while later, he was only too happy to rework an old play of mine based on Tennyson's The Princess.
And why was that?
Why? Because the masterly musician needed the money. That's why. His stockbroker had gone bankrupt, and he was broke. That is why. The musical elite could rail and bluster all they liked, but Sullivan needed some filthy lucre to refill his coffers. That's why. Oh, it was always us with Sullivan. He adored the high life and the trappings of wealth. But the truth of it is that much of his wider fame and his affluence came from descending to our work and his own series of parlour songs. It eventually becomes very tiresome to be constantly condescended to. You might say the lost chord became a chord lost. Oh, pick something to sing from Princess Ida.
A prayer for wisdom, perhaps?
Oh,
A disagreeable man, and I can't think why. I am no such thing.
Well, perhaps not. But you are when compared with that of your partners. They were great socialites and great company. You were not. They positively courted the limelight, enjoying the fanfare of acclaim. You shunned publicity and were not known for your social chit-chat, but rather your waspish put-downs.
Waspish?
I say! Oh, Mr. Gilbert, one of your actors came close to singing in tune last night.
Opening my nerves. Soon wears off.
I say. Dr. Sullivan's music is just too delightful. He reminds me of dear Batch. Tell me, how is dear Batch doing these days? Is he still composing?
No, madam, dear Bach is now by way of decomposing.
I say, call me a cab.
Very well, you are a four-wheeler.
I beg your pardon, sir.
You asked me to call you a cab, and you're scarcely handsome.
Waspish, Mr. Gilbert.
You may have a point. Ida was not doing well at the box office. I therefore sent Sullivan the lozenge plot, completely reworked to answer all of his objections.
My dear Gilbert, let me say at once that I cannot do another work like those we have already written. I am at the end of my tether. My tunes are engaged in becoming mere word-setting, for I hold the words to be of such importance that I have been deliberately keeping the music down. I would like to set a piece of greater human interest and reality, where humorous words arise out of humorous situations. That would bring a sense of reality, which would give me a greater urge to compose and bring a fresh vitality to our joint work.
Sullivan, your words cause me considerable pain. When you say you want the humorous words to come from a humorous situation, you teach me the ABC of my profession. It is inconceivable that any author would write otherwise. Your objections are arbitrary and capricious.
My dear Gilbert, from the tone of your letter, it seems that our partnership should cease. I regret this very much.
Sullivan! My dear Sullivan, as you know, there hangs on the wall of my study a large Japanese sword. Last night, for no apparent reason, it crashed to the floor, giving me quite a start, and the idea for a new opera which I think you might like.
Did that really happen? Or did you make it up to cover a conciliatory gesture?
You might think that. I couldn't possibly comment.
The Mikado opened 14th of March, 1885 at the Savoy Theatre. Initial run, 672 performances. Nobody safe, for we care for none. Life is a joke,
Failure that put £7,000 in my pocket.
Even the title caused friction.
I say, Gilbert, how's Bloody doing?
I take it you mean Ruddy.
Oh, Bloody same thing.
Is it? Then if I say I admire your ruddy countenance, which I do, it means I like your bloody cheek, which I do not.
What's this?
Provoked. And if Ruddy Gore shows nothing else, it shows the folly of provoking a ghost. Beware! Beware! Beware!
Old vision, who art thou? That must be I see the man, and sternly necklace brow, and peerless, who knows how?
I am the spectre of the late Sir Roderick Murgatroyd, who comes to warn thee that thy fate thou canst not now avoid.
Alas, poor ghost.
The pity you express for nothing goes. We spectres on a jollier crew than you can suppose.
We spectres on a jollier crew than you can suppose.
When the night wind howls in the chimney cows, and the bat in the moonlight flies, and inky clouds like funeral shrouds sail over the midnight skies. When the footpads quail at the night birds wail, and black dogs bay at the moon, then is the spectre's holiday, then is the ghost high noon. Oh, then is the ghost high noon. When the song of the breeze sweeps over the trees, and the mists lie low on the fen, from grating stones I gather the bones that once were women and a man, and away they go with a mop and a moan to the revel that ends too soon. For control it's a holiday, the dead of the night's high noon, the dead of the night's high noon. And then each goes with his navy toast to the churchyard bells take flight, with a kiss perhaps on the hands of chaps, and a Christy grim good night, till the welcome knell of the midnight bell rings forth its jolliest tune, and ushers in our next high holiday, the end of the night's high noon, the end of the night's high noon.
Sullivan's artistic conscience began to prick again about now, didn't it?
It was always simmering away on the flame of expectation from the musical elite. Sullivan was pulled this way and that by arts and economics. I must admit I did feel some sympathy for him, particularly when he was invited to Berlin to conduct his oratorio, The Golden Legend. He was met by a band playing excerpts from the Mikado.
That is so like a band.
Maybe, but we had a business to run. Therefore, I sent Sullivan a much revised lozenge.
Oh, do you not feel that this was a blind spot for you?
For me, no. For him, yes. For he rejected it out of hand. So there we were. Jubilee year, no new show from the Savoy. Still, you never know where inspiration may strike. Seated one day at Uxbridge Station, I was weary and ill at ease, and my notice wandered idly over the noisy scene to a poster depicting the Tower of London.
The Yeoman of the Guard, opened 7th of October 1888 at the Savoy Theatre. Initial run 423 performances.
I have lost all taste for comic opera. I want to write a piece where the music has a greater position.
Dash it all. Here we are again. Miss Sullivan, box office returns for Yeoman of the Guard do not support your view.
If it means a return to our earlier style, I cannot do it. These are your pieces with music added by me. This is slavery.
Slavery? Yes, they were my pieces. I dragged them kicking and screaming out of the ether. I wrote them, I developed them, directed and designed them. I took them from the page to the stage. Honest, hard, well-rewarded work, not slavery. I've had enough. So, you are an adept in your profession, I in mine. If we meet again, it must be as master and master, not master and servant.
Nothing like a good row to be at, even if it did take 2 years. The Gondoliers opened 7th of December 1890 at the Savoy Theatre. Initial run 554 performances.
In which it is arranged that 2 kings reign jointly.
I stole the prince and I brought him here, and I left him gaining nothing with a highly respectable gondolier who promised the loyal babe to rear and teach him the trade of time and year with his own beloved's nothing. Each of the boys was strong and stout, and considered me all things clever. Oh, that there is no doubt of a doubt, no possible shadow of doubt, no possible doubt whatever.
No possible doubt whatever.
But owing I'm much afraid to fear to impossible take from simply that highly respectable gondolier could never declare with a mind sincere which of the 2 was his offspring dear, which the boy or strictly, which was which he could never make out despite his best endeavour. Oh, that there is no matter of doubt, no probable possible shadow of doubt, no possible doubt whatever.
No possible doubt whatever.
I sped, and when at the end of the year I sought that infant cherished, that highly respectable gondolier who was lying a corpse on his humble bier, I dropped a grand inquisitorial tear. That gondolier had perished, and changed the trick combined with gout, and doubled him up forever. Oh, that there is no matter of doubt, no probable possible shadow of doubt, no possible doubt whatever.
No possible doubt whatever.
The children followed his own career, the statesman can't be married of a highly respectable gondolier, and one of the 2 who will soon be here. But which of the 2 it is not quite clear. Is the royal prince you marry? Search in and out and round about, and you will discover never. The tales are free from every doubt, no possible shadow of doubt, no possible doubt whatever.
The tales are free from every doubt, no possible shadow of doubt, no possible doubt whatever.
The Gondoliers was an artistic and financial success, and yet you still managed to have a row with Cart over a cart,
Yes, but he alleged that.
which cost less than £500
But it was the principle of the
and treated the public to yet another spell of acrimony, a lawsuit, eventual grudging reconciliation, the whole leading to your next work together.
Yes, however did you guess?
Utopia Limited, opened 3rd of October 1893 at the Savoy Theatre. Initial run, 245 performances.
An entirely new and original comic opera.
Entirely new. And original.
Entirely.
Would you mind singing this from Utopia?
I'm Captain Corcoran, KCB. I'll teach you how we rule the sea and terrify the simple Gaul, and how the Saxon and the Celt, the Europe shaking blows my dirt, with Maxim gun and the Northern felt, all will when the occasion calls. If sailor like you play your part, unstep your sails and lower your yards, unstep your mast, you'll never want to know. Oh, we're no longer hearts of oak, yet we can steer and we can stoke, and thanks to coal and thanks to cook, we never run a ship ashore.
Was never,
No, never,
was never,
hardly ever.
hardly ever run a ship ashore. If bridges on the towns, never run a ship ashore. If bridges on never run a ship ashore.
The only time Utopia repeated a character or Sullivan a setting.
Then a plagiarist on both our houses.
Which brings us to...
The Grand Duke.
About which the least said the soonest mended. This was a mistake. I was not at all a proud father, and I never want to see the ugly, misshapen little brat again.
Then that was the end.
In effect, yes. We worked together for a few years on revivals. And then in 1900, Cart suggested that we all come on stage at the end of a Patience revival. And since we were all ill at the time, we should all come on in bath chairs. An amusing way to show publicly the reconciliations that take place in private. Sadly, Sullivan's health failed him at the last moment. 10 days later, he was dead. Cart followed in 6 months. Even Queen Victoria was gone. It was truly the end of an era.
It's
Eventually.
And finally met your maker at the bottom of that pond. Looking back, is there anything you'd change? Your relationship with Cart and Sullivan, perhaps?
No. No, I don't think so. It was far from perfect, but with each of us playing to our strengths, we do seem to have got something right. Before us, there'd be no native English comic opera since John Gay wrote the Berries Opera. After us, the legacy of pieces influencing a whole new raft of musical theatre. I should.
Yes.
Sullivan and I were reconciled before he died. We wrote. I should like to have said some of those things to his face. And I should like to have found a use for this damn lozenge.
Then so you shall, Mr. Gilbert. That lozenge turns people into what they pretend to be, does it not?
It does.
Well, this gentleman has been speaking Arthur Sullivan's words all evening. So why not give him the lozenge?
An actor, a singer of songs.
An untangler of tangles, a writer of wrongs. Something of your own creation, Mr. Gilbert. A cataman!
With many cheerful patches on the square of my head. With many cheerful patches on the square of my head. With many cheerful patches on the square of my head. With many cheerful patches on the square of my head. I'm very good at entering of a differential calculus. I know the scientific names of beings and analysis. In short, and matters negligible, animal and mineral. I am the very model of nature. In short, and matters negligible, animal and mineral. He is the very model of nature. I know I'm with you studying officers of cannibals. I answer other crossings, I'm a pretty different paradox. I quote an elegiac all the kinds of new gallows. In college, I can form peculiarities of balance. I can tell and noted ruffians from General Gatlin's Sophones. I know the croaking chorus from the fronts of Aristophanes. Then I can hum a fugue of which I've heard the music still before. Aha! And whistle all the ears of that infernal nonsense. I whistle all the ears of that infernal nonsense. Whistle all the ears of that infernal nonsense. Whistle all the ears of that infernal nonsense. But I could write a washing bill in Babylonic uniform and tell you every detail of corrected position uniform. In short, and matters vegetable, animal and mineral. I am the very model of all the mineral. In short, and matters vegetable, animal and mineral. He is the very model of all the general. But Paterman is witty and like booty and satirical. He'll change gears from army to a reed, more particular. When I get made Lord Chancellor, the land becomes serene again, as I make sure no peer will ever meet a fairy queen again. And going farther east, I rise to Lord High Executioner. Explain I get some dreadful puns and rhymes like diminutioner.
Sorry.
Then back at home in Westminster, for power I make a sort of myth. And swan about the greeting of the Constitution. And swan about the greeting of the Constitution. Swan about the greeting of the Constitution. Swan about the greeting of the Constitution. The judge's musical model, not forgetting drum beatings, also was suggested that he ends up dying in the wings. And so the matters vegetable, animal, mineral, the pattern as a model. Gilbert, you are a dramatist, are you not?
I'm glad somebody's been paying attention. Yes, I am.
Very well, and we're in the theatre.
Yes.
Let me try to convince you in your own words. Coco, the Mikado, Act 2. I paraphrase.
That is so like an actor.
When you say let a thing be done, that thing is as good as done. Because in the theatre, the dramatist's will is law. You say, let a magic lozenge save the day. And a magic lozenge is told off to save the day. Consequently, the day is as good as saved. Practically, it is saved. And if it is saved, why not say so?
I see. Nothing could possibly be more satisfactory. Very well. The Magic Lozenge by W.S.Gilbert. Scene 1. A gentleman is given the magic lozenge and becomes Arthur Sullivan, the end.
My dear Gilbert.
My dear Sullivan, I must thank you for the magnificent work that you have put in on our joint pieces. It gives one the chance of shining through the centuries with a reflected light.
Oh, my dear Gilbert, do not speak of reflected light. In your perfect books, you shine with an individual brilliance that no other author could hope to attain.
Ladies and gentlemen, we present a new premiere, Gilbert and Sullivan in perfect harmony.
Can we tell them how it's done, Sir William?
Take it away, Sir Arthur. Hereupon we both agreed, all agreed to, solid English style free, to make better music theatre.
The stories tell so well, bright and burning, topsy-turvy.
Set to music somewhere around, French affection is perfection.
French affection
is perfection.
French affection
is perfection. French affection is perfection is perfection. Tell a tale of cock and bull, of the wincing detail. Tale madness and madness, what a tale of cock and bull. We have clearly played a part, while admitting, giving music as a start, shows amazing, wonder-raising,
Cats and Phantom, Martingale, Neverland, Lloyd Wonderland.
from the dancing years to hair, basic principles very simple.
Basic principles,
Very simple,
basic principles,
very simple, basic principles, very simple, very simple. Just tell a tale of cock and bull, of convincing detail. Carefree madness and madness, what a tale of cock and bull. What a tale of cock, what a tale of bull, what a tale of cock, what a tale of bull, what a tale of cock and bull, cock and bull, cock and bull, penny fingers, what a tale of cock and bull.
vale of Peers, 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 tale of tears, for vale of Peers. Out in the air, sky high, free from dispute, let carpet try. I will be sure they have been born by such a susceptible playwright born. Up in the air, sky high, free from dispute.